Okie dokie.
I almost said good morning.
Yeah.
It's 8:15 here p.m.
Yep. Welcome to the Rolling Coynes Podcast, week 10 of our Jiu-Jitsu journey.
Wow.
Yep.
It's only 2.5 months.
Yeah.
We finished week 10?
Yep.
Okay.
We're always the week that we say we're doing is the week that we finished.
Okay. Well, that makes things feel a little bit better.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so. I had one of our professors, when we were in class together this last week, asked at the very beginning of class, like, how long have you been taking classes or training, whatever he said. And I couldn't remember if it was like almost 3, just shy of 3, or just past 2. My mind kind of blanked. And I was like, 2-ish months?
Yeah.
And that was right. So 2 months and like a week or 2.
Yeah.
Because we started midway through November, and now it is halfway through January. So 2 months and change.
How do you feel? Do you feel like you could tap out last week's you?
Last week's me.
Or when we started?
When we
maybe?
started, for sure. For sure, because I knew nothing. Beginning, God, that would be so funny if it was like, pre 2 months jiu-jitsu, Krystal, and now we'd hurt each other.
You think so?
I mean, like if there was like, I didn't know the rules
gonna,
when someone else is trying to do like
very
beginner jiu-jitsu on me. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I still battle with that right now of like not over exerting myself, trying not to like lean on the strength that I have. So, but yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't see even just a couple of little things I've got up my sleeve now. I wouldn't see it coming.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where it was kind of a, well,
Hey, we got a grumpy dog in the background.
Yep, that's Dusty.
He's not even grumpy. He's
people
scared.
are lighting off fireworks because the Seahawks just won the playoff game.
Oh yeah,
go Hawks. But yeah, it's tough because jiu-jitsu is so hard, and you routinely have moments of like, why do I even try? But really, when you think back about when we first started compared to not doing it to now, I'm like, oh my God, I've learned so much.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, you gonna be a problem?
Oh.
Maybe restart.
We can just pause. And we're back.
Yeah.
Ooh, came in hot.
Dogs in the kennel. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 2 months is a very short amount of time, and it's a long amount of time because the learning threshold or your trajectory of learning is steep in the beginning.
Yeah.
Even if it feels like you're not learning anything, like 0 to 1 is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Way better than 0. So to get to 100 feels really far away, but or not even 100, feels like 1,000,
100 classes?
I don't know.
Or
just
100?
Like on the scale of like where we are now to someone who is, let's say, black belt. Like
Sure.
It feels like their number's 1,000.
Yeah.
Or if they say like hours to mastery, right? It's like 10,000.
1,000 hours or whatever.
Then yeah, we're at, I think you were tracking it. You just hit 20 classes not too long ago, right?
Today was 21.
Okay. And I think I probably have a handful more than you. So I'll say 25 for myself.
And I am suspicious that I missed 1 or 2 in there, but I'm pretty sure it's 21.
Yeah. So 25 hours out of 10,000,
Yeah.
Give yourself some grace.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. That's kind of organically probably the topic we'll talk about today, but we've been chatting amongst each other all week, and it's kind of that enjoying the process, not
Oh, yeah.
looking for a rival, so to speak, like feeling like you have arrived once you get like a stripe or a certain belt or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just an interesting kind of between Krystal and I. There's a member at our gym who's 80 years old, and we witnessed him this week get his purple belt. And This is kind of this night we got a babysitter, and we got to go to class together in the middle of the week. And
Which is probably going to happen, like, if we're lucky, once a month.
yeah, but it's fun for us. It's kind of a date night thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always want to go to dinner. You
Yeah.
know, I love you. And I really have fun going to jiu-jitsu with you. You know, it's kind of like a dance class for somebody else, right?
Totally.
And while we were there, somebody got their blue belt and somebody got their purple belt. And the person who got their purple belt is 80 years old. And that was kind of like really cool to see. And also just like it kind of it brought up feelings of like, when will I feel like I've arrived or like I've accomplished something, I guess, or I don't know, like what am I doing it for?
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing it for the belt? Will I feel like I've arrived when I get the belt, whatever belt that is?
Yeah.
You know? But in any case, that guy, he was in class today, and he tracks his classes too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so his goal, I think, was to get the belt, and I can't remember. I should have paid closer attention for the podcast. But I think he said his goal to get purple was in 300 classes. I believe it's 300 classes. And he got it in 250.
Okay. Wow. That doesn't, when you think about it, you're like, the days in the year, I don't want to do the math right now, but let's say you go 52 weeks in a year, you train 50 of those weeks, and you go 3 classes a week. That's 150 classes.
It seems,
no, that's not right.
I can't believe it. He is 80, so.
I mean, it could have been at blue belt.
Yeah, then.
That he was like 300 classes at blue belt to get my purple belt. That sounds more reasonable.
I think that sounds more.
Because then that's like 2 years of training, depending on how often he came.
Yeah.
So, well, good for him.
Yeah. So in any case, he tracked his classes, and
I think that seeing him get his purple belt for me it reminded me of something that I heard in another podcast where the podcast hosts were bringing up like, things you've seen on the interwebs lately that have caught your attention. And they were talking about a post that was made by a young man who was very excited about the fact that I'm putting air quotes up, tapped a purple belt at a gym that he was visiting. We don't know if the purple belt allowed this to happen. You never really know as a white belt. Like, you could get really lucky and you could be a really strong person and happen to tap a higher belt. Sure.
Not in competition, not multiple times in a row.
Yeah, just you get it.
Once in class.
Wow, it worked, right? So maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. It doesn't matter. The fact that he was bragging about it on Instagram really rubbed people in the community the wrong way. And so these people were talking about it just because it's a nice topic to discuss during a jiu-jitsu podcast. And they started talking about how, the guy's coach, I think, like, came online to talk about the situation and was like, I'm using this as an example, not to embarrass him, but I recently promoted some of my students. And although he's a good competitor and he's strong and learning the skills, he didn't get promoted recently. And he was basically like kind of butthurt about it. And then they started talking about how promotion in this community is, depending on the school that you go to, you have to think about it like you as a person are a pie and there are slices to the pie. And some people's competitor slice is smaller than other people's, but they're, using this member at our gym, the like community building, friendliness, joy that he brings into the community adds so much to that slice of his pie that like he doesn't compete. He's 80. Who's going to be in, like, he's talked about how he's like, no one's in my division. I can't find someone to compete against if I wanted to. And he wants to. So, like, people can make up for it in other ways. And it just makes you think a little bit about like living the lifestyle and not focusing so much on, I have to be really good at jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, well, yeah, but are there a lot of other purple belts at the gym that could tap this individual? Probably, because they're younger or they're heavier, or they're stronger, or whatever. But, you know, he remained consistent. He continued to work on his skills.
He's there at least 2 days a week.
He is absolutely enjoying the process.
Yes.
And you see that. And you see all of these higher belts that we're around. You know, this is a good community, but like you can tell that they enjoy what they're doing. And I think that like that's actually the secret.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yes, they're getting their higher level belts because they are good at jiu-jitsu, but I think you have to flip that. They're good at jiu-jitsu because they enjoy doing jiu-jitsu and the community and the, you know, all the other like little aspects that come with immersing yourself in a community like this. So I don't know. You got to just remind yourself every once in a while, like, why do something? Why spend so much time trying to get good at something if you don't enjoy it?
Yeah. Because it isn't always easy, and sometimes it's not. I can't say that it's not enjoyable, but it's like frustrating or sometimes like demoralizing, or you feel dumb, or because like.
Yeah, and we've only done this for 2 months, so it's not like I'm speaking as if I have all this experience in this specific activity, but I have experience in other very difficult activities and hobbies where the feelings are similar. You kind of go through this phase of like, you get kind of wrapped up in like doing it right, doing it good. And some people get lost in that. And then they're like, oh, wait, I haven't enjoyed the last 2 years of this. And they get burnt out and they leave it.
Compounding. Because it's like such an amazing time, because there's so much information on the internet, and like YouTube is an amazing resource that I love YouTube. I'm obsessed with YouTube just in general. And then you'll see videos like, don't spend the next 10 years of your life like practicing jiu-jitsu, do this instead. You know, of like and it's like clickbaity of like how to get good at
I ruined my life, or I ruined my body doing jiu-jitsu.
Or it's still like clickbaity of like how to get good at jiu-jitsu fast. Like you don't need to spend 10 years doing quote unquote jiu-jitsu, like do this shortcut, you know, or whatever. And there's like all of that, like kind of.
You got to think about like, what's the ultimate goal here?
Yeah.
Maybe some other people's goals are different, and they actually like want to try to become a high level paid athlete. First of all, you got to like level set with yourself and figure out like, can you do that? Are you a prodigy? Anyway, but I don't know. I think for most middle-aged people and people who are like just doing this as a hobby, you should think about longevity.
Yeah. And like playfully, ever since we've started, you know, and we've gotten hooked, we'll be like dancing around or goofing off in the kitchen, just being like, I want to get good at jiu-jitsu. I can't wait till I'm good at jiu-jitsu. And like, while it's playful, like sometimes I had to like this week specifically, you know, and after that night of like seeing people get promoted and witnessing like the feelings that rose up inside of me, I'm like, oh, maybe I need to like reassess a little bit and like have a different intention or like filter I take the external information in outside of classes and stuff with, that is more promoting just like enjoying the process than like trying to like obsessively learn a sweep so that I get closer to my first stripe quicker.
Yeah. Or like just like dominating or beating somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Because like the information overload, and you'll hear people say that, like, just focus on what you learn in class.
Yeah.
Take your time. If you've got gaps, ask around, you know, the resources in class, at the gym, Or even just like being curious. And the other day I was like, well, what is octopus guard?
Yeah.
And
it's fun.
I Googled it or I searched it on YouTube, and at least now I know what it looks like. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, okay, I need to go buy this new course on octopus guard so that I can go beat all of these people that I'm not going to beat,
Stay ahead of the curve or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think especially this first couple of years, it really is just a practice in patience. And then you get to start kind of like experiment a little bit, I think, after that. But, the whole ride, I'm sure, is patience, but especially in the early days.
Well,
also, I have a little bit of cold. I should have said that in the very beginning.
So funny.
Do I sound funny?
I was just going to kind of like segue into that, just kind of like a recap of the week.
Yeah.
Because I only got to go to Monday night and Wednesday night and then Saturday morning, which is today.
Yeah.
Because I had a cold all week. And it was the most annoying low-level cold that, I don't know, everything was itchy and my nose ran a little bit, but it wasn't like the worst cold I've ever had. And I'm like, could I go to class? Should I? I just stayed away so I didn't pass anything. But on Monday night, it was a hard night for me. I don't exactly remember. I think it was just more like socially difficult.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you have this high after class. Like I remember you saying that like the class itself was good. It was fun. And you like kind of like have this energy when you're new and you want to learn stuff. And like sometimes the opportunity to like keep going after class is there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not. And as a new person, people have friend groups at the gym and they sometimes just go hang out with their friends, and you don't want to be that like
hang around.
Yeah. That new person who's like,
cool. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Can I interrupt your hangout session to ask one of you guys to roll with me?
Yeah. Whatever so it was just kind of a weird, it was like the night ended weird. It was a great class. Night ended weird socially because I was like, oh, fuck, I don't have any friends. I don't know what to do here. And so I just left.
Pause on that.
Okay.
Because I think that this is also a very good topic. With any community, it doesn't matter what you're doing, right? If you're new, you're only going to be the newest person for so long. Mm. And I think both of us agreed that like if you just continue to be a kind, friendly person and you're not trying to be someone that you're not, like you will attract people and you will make friends organically.
Yeah.
And if you're making friends like really quickly and everyone wants to be your best friend right away, like that's just not, I wouldn't trust that.
Sure. It's weird. They're trying to fuck you.
Yeah. or like just something's off, right? However, when you are new, like for us at least, it's like there are other new people. And there are other new people who also want friends in this community. So why not waste your time, but like why make yourself even more uncomfortable trying to like infiltrate
the upper belts
or just like a crowd of people who have known each other for 10 years. Like you can be friendly with them, sure, and some of them are more receptive to it than not, but like you don't have to like just try to insert yourself into a group of friends that has known each other that long. That'll happen. That's what would happen organically. You'll find the people in that community that you get along with best. But for the new people, they all want someone to like connect with, I'm sure, especially if they're really excited about it like we are. Like my goal right now is to just befriend every person who joined at around the same time as us and after us, because there's just like a receptiveness to it, They're like, if I were a new person joining, let's see, 3 months from now, and someone who had been around for 3 months came up to me and was like, hey, you want to drill? Like, this is crazy, right? It's weird. Like, you want to exchange phone numbers and link up for a class every once in a while? Yeah. I would be so happy.
Yeah. It'd feel good.
Right? Yeah. And so like, I don't know. I think that's a way to find even more enjoyment in this process is like that kind of, I mean, I'm not one to like mentor skills wise, but like emotionally or friendship wise, just kind of like foster that with other people in the community. So
yeah, okay. So it's funny you reminded me of kind of what Monday night was, and it was like this arm bar. It was like, gosh, I can't even really remember now. It was like this. I should pull out my notebook. It was like it was like this side control, and then you did a baseball. It was like a kind of like a base. Oh no.
it was a mount.
It was a mount to cross collar choke.
Yeah. And then there was like a variation that was an armbar.
A variation at the end where if they defended the cross collar choke, they opened themselves up to an armbar. And everybody's flipping and rolling around to get into that position. And my brain turned all the way off. I was like having the hardest time. But I was paired up with another white belt. And he came in with a nickname. You know, he kind of like had a reputation right away because he was very gung-ho.
Mm-hmm.
And so people were like, you know, I judged him and avoided him because I was like, oh, I don't want to get hurt. And he's like loose cannon. And he is like the friendliest dude.
Yeah.
And I had the best time. Like we were giggling like the whole time, like drilling because we're like, oh my God, we're fucking this up so bad.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to help each other and like struggling through it together. And by the end we got it. And, you know, like everybody gets a drink of water. Like, oh, you want to do it one more time? Like, yeah, okay, cool. And then we like smoothed it out, you know, and like worked it out. And I was like, oh, like that was so nice. And I think that's part of like what kicked off this whole thing. Cut to Wednesday night. For me, this is my weekly recap right now. Wednesday night, we get to go together. Loved it. Witness people get promotions. Creates weird feelings inside of me. And, you know, you kind of don't. I was glad that you were there because we kind of just like stuck together, but I didn't really know who to talk to elsewise. It wasn't a big thing, right? But it was also just kind of like, okay, cool. Like we got to roll together, and then
we stayed busy on that night, right? Like we rolled together, or we drilled together. We rolled together. We rolled with other people, and then we each rolled with one of the professors, and then they each talked to us for a good 10 minutes. So I think that we were just like, things were moving. And then by the time we looked at the clock.
Like, oh, we got to get home to the babysitter.
Babysitters, yeah.
Right. So it was quick, burn in and out, but also like, oh wow, they got promoted. When am I going to get my stripe? You know, those kind of weird feelings kind of come up. And then today, you know, we had a conversation of like, me being like, am I going to enjoy the journey? Yeah, that's my commitment to myself is I'm going to enjoy the journey. And however things come, they come. And I'm going to be more open to our own class of students.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're all coming in at the same time.
Yeah.
And today I had the best time because I immediately saw two new guys who I had seen come to a class that was like a regular class for their first class. They didn't get to go to the fundamentals. And
2 or 3 weeks ago was their very first class.
Yeah, deer in headlights.
Should have gone to a beginner class.
Yeah. But today I got to like be around them and kind of like help them out and like give them like not tips, but just like, hey, this is what we're doing because it wasn't being explained. Like they didn't know what King of the Hill was.
Oh,
and everybody's starting to get in line and the line's starting to move because people are getting tapped and swept. And I'm like trying to explain it really quick. Sweep. So like what? Sweep.
Well, you try to pass their guard as the person going
pass,
in.
Sweep, submit.
Yeah.
So in any case, you know, it was like really, really fun. And like, I just was happy to be there and slowed everything down for myself and just was like, great, I'm here. Like, this is cool. I'm enjoying the class and like just learning what I can learn and trying my best. And I just had a blast today and like got to like hang out with other white belts and even got to hang out with some other color belts, but like I wasn't so in my head about it, I guess.
Yeah.
And it felt amazing. I was like on cloud 9 coming home.
Well, the breakdown of the classes that we go to, typically it's at least 50% white belts.
Sure. Yep.
So when you think about the interactions that you have with people, it's probably going to be mostly white belts too. I think when you're really, really new, you might actually have it might be a little bit more skewed toward higher belts because they try to partner you with someone who's a little bit more experienced. But like you said, you've been there for 2 months and you're already at the point where you can start to explain things to a brand new person.
Yeah, it was like I was in the class, the first like regular general population class they went to, and I remember their friend who was a blue belt brought them, and we were in the warm up, and I just remember him turning around to his friends as like everybody's going to get in the 4 lines to do like, you know, the drills, the line drills. And he just turns to the guy in front of him and goes, okay, just like do what the person in front of you does.
Which is so bananas because when you think about like hip escape,
what? Forward roll, back roll, like from standing, you know, like it was so funny. I was like, oh shit. Okay. It's like, hey man, like, and at that moment I was like, I'm not going to name drop, but I just was like, oh, throwing him in the deep end, huh? And he was like, oh, what, is tonight bad? I was like, no, it's good. But then I just like turned to his friends. I was like, put your arm through the hole, go over your shoulder, don't go over your neck.
Yeah.
And then just do your best. You know, that's just kind of like that's as much time as I had before we all started, you know. And then so today was their next general pop class that they had done. They'd stuck to the fundamentals.
Yeah, I think that they've been doing
between now and then.
At least once a week for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So they've gotten like 3-4 fundamentals classes in since then.
So they did great. You know, they did need some like small explaining, and I hope they're grateful for it. It was fun to talk to them and be around them, and I don't know. I hope I don't sound like patronizing, but
I mean, no, it is a fine line though, right? It's like a one-liner to be like, hey, have you guys done this before?
Yeah.
If they say yes, great. If they say no, you're trying to pass their guard. They're trying to sweep you or submit you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. So it just made the day enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of reframing. And not that I was having like big existential crisis about the whole thing, but it was just kind of like a gut check of this week of like, oh, like,
well,
yeah,
like compounding with,
process.
you know, our life, how you were feeling, you were sick, you know, all of that adds to the, you know.
Am I going to fall behind? I lost out on
armbar
week, you know, like.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, hold on.
Feelings, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just kind of feel run down and shitty because you're sick, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, and just so it's like, oh, you're fine. Miss some days, that's okay.
Well, and like it has been our ambitious goal to get in 5 days a week.
Yeah.
But really, we've been doing 3 to 4.
Yeah.
So the fact that you did 3 this last week is actually pretty normal.
Fine, yeah.
But I think we're like I'm speaking for myself, but so excited about it that I wish I could recover faster and that we could find more time to go that didn't feel like it was taking away from the family time.
Yeah.
That I could go 7 times a week. Like I really would.
Twice a day.
Yeah, I would do a 2-day, like if I could. But I don't want to hurt myself. So I'm trying to take it easy. And I think this week I also felt like I wanted to go more because I did.
You got in like
4 times. I think 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did Monday morning. I can't remember why I didn't go on Tuesday.
You had a late night.
That's right.
Meeting.
I had a late night meeting. And you gave me the opportunity to go on Tuesday morning,
because
but I didn't think I had.
So sick.
Yeah.
Tuesday morning.
So at like 3 a.m., Ross was like, I'm not going to go to jiu-jitsu.
I got sick in the middle of the night on Monday night.
Yeah. And so you kind of like, you know, getting up to use the bathroom or something. And I was up. You're like, I'm not going to go. If you want to go, you know, in the morning, it's, you know, it's all you. And I mean,
You know,
one,
half asleep at
I
3 in
can't,
the morning.
I can't commit at 3 a.m. But
Because you got to wake up
also,
at 5:30.
yeah, I didn't think that I had clean gear, so I didn't go. So I was bummed that I missed that opportunity. But anyway, I went Monday morning, and then I went Wednesday night with you, and then Thursday and Friday morning. So I went 4 days.
Yeah.
And I really feel like I could have done more. So I think that like the fitness is there now.
Yeah.
My body feels pretty good. I had a kind of like an ache in my shoulder last week. It feels fine now. But yeah, I'm like, I feel like,
A horse in a stable.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm really, really trying. And it's a very, like, generally my week in review, I think, is just this like low level frustration of feeling like I don't know enough to make my body do the things I know that it's capable of. Because I'm starting to like, I know I look really weird doing stuff right now because I'm like timid and, jerky and, like I just know it doesn't look like when a coach shows it, right?
Yeah.
But I also know now, after kind of moving through things slowly, that I'm like, oh, I know I'm capable of being more fluid, being more explosive, being more intentional with my movements. But I don't have the like confidence to do it yet. And I don't feel like it's weird. Like, do I know enough to push myself to that next little level? It's hard to explain. I'm going to blow my nose. 1 second. I think that so let's see, Monday morning's class, the usual, right? We're all learning something new.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the week.
Yeah. So it's like fresh, brand new for everybody. We're all kind of struggling through it. The female other woman who comes in the morning classes was there, which was great. Wait, no, was that?
It must have been Monday.
No, I did it alone. I did it with a male partner on Monday. So we learn it on Monday. Everybody kind of fumbles through it, but we start to get it with some help. But it was just like a very usual, normal class. Like I felt like I was struggling equally with everybody on Monday. And then we go to Wednesday class together, which was super fun. I got a little bit of extra attention from one of our professors, and I really appreciate the way that he coaches because, excuse me, he's giving me like major don'ts right now. So it's like kind of like letting me play, do things, and is like, I don't know, don't do this, don't do that. And they're like broad sweeping kind of tips and tricks that I'm able to kind of apply to my game holistically.
Yeah.
Not just like put your arm here in this specific movement.
Yeah.
That felt really good. And then Thursday morning, so I went Wednesday evening to Thursday morning. That turnaround is tough. I was very tired, but very proud of myself for actually waking up and going. Excuse me. And I got there, and Thursday was very frustrating for me. Thursday, I felt like no, back it up. Sorry, my brain's a little bit tired right now. Thursday was a good day because my like female training partner was there, and that was her first day of doing everything that we had done in the morning classes. So I ended up partnering with her, and I knew a little bit more than she did, and her partner also came and helped us. So we had a little bit of extra help. We got through it. I didn't go very hard during that class, which was good because I was pretty tired. And so I kind of just left being like, I want a little bit more, but like generally that felt pretty good. And then Friday's morning's class was really frustrating because I really liked that class. So the class itself wasn't frustrating, But it was just me and a bunch of guys who are at least, all of them are like at least 6 inches taller. And the lightest one is probably 20 pounds heavier. So 20 to 50 pounds heavier and like 5 to 10 inches taller than me.
The coach, I was talking to him today, he referenced you rolling with the big guy. And he was like, remember, you're 150 pounds more than her. You know,
yeah. Like, just be careful.
Be mindful of that.
Yeah. And so that class, we were doing like stand-up takedown type drilling, snap downs, and like, you know, trying to do like ankle picks and all this stuff that like as a lighter person I just feel very awkward. You know, I'm like really, really trying to go for it.
Feels futile.
Yeah, you know, and like there's a couple of takedowns that are a little easier for me to do. So I'm, you know, doing it and they're kind of like letting me. I felt like a lot of like, they're just letting me. They're letting me trip them. They're letting me take them down.
Yeah, at least they're letting you so you get a feel for it.
Yeah, but I almost like want them to not so that I can really, really feel it, you know?
Sure.
Like there's this really frustrating dance that's happening. And then we played like a version of King of the Hill where, you know, the 2 higher belts start out, you mount them, and then you try to stay mounted and submit them. And if they sweep you, then you start all over. And I was flying around like a fucking paperweight,
Getting chucked.
Just getting, they'd give me like my, what's it called in golf where it's like a handicap.
Mm-hmm.
I had my 15-second handicap with everybody. And then they would just be like, okay, bye-bye. And like just chuck me off of them. And at the end of that, I was like, I don't know if I was visibly frustrated because afterward our coach and someone else actually gave me a couple of additional like tips and tricks about like how to be a little bit more efficient in amount. But yeah, that was a tough one. And that was how I ended my week. And then I started getting sick like
right away
later that day. And I was like, God damn it, man. So, not a terrible week. It felt like a week where I wanted to feel like I made more progress. And I don't feel like I made, like it almost felt like a step back week.
Sure.
And maybe that was because I didn't get to roll like all week. I didn't get to like actually roll with any other women. I rolled with the morning person once. And then that was it. We did a little bit of like positional sparring with other women, but it was more like, can you squirm out of a really intense neon belly? And then, you know, they get the dominant position and it was just kind of like, let me shrimp around for a little bit and my minute is up. So maybe that was it. Just like, you know, butting up against 220 pounds over and over and over and over. Just kind of gets to you. So hopefully this next week feels like a little bit more of a step forward week.
I wonder for women if competing is more valuable than competing for men.
I've been thinking about competing a lot lately.
Because men kind of compete every week.
Yeah, exactly. You have somewhere in that class, you probably have 1 to 3 people who are like within 20% of your kind of skill, weight, strength range.
Yeah.
And you're going to start to figure out who those people are. I think you already are starting to figure out who those people are. Me, on the other hand, is like 10 women total in the entire gym. 3 to 4 of us are white belts. And the age range, the weight range, the height, like it's all
over the place.
All over the place. And I am the most beginner of everybody.
Smack dab in the middle.
Yeah. No, like skill wise, but yeah, like weight, height wise, I'm probably about in the middle. So that I think I have that as like an advantage. Having a little bit more, I don't know, options. But yeah, I've been thinking about competing a lot more lately. Not as like an immediate thing, but as just kind of thinking about the value of it and how it's important for you to kind of like check your skill level in that way more often than, a guy who probably
gets pretty close to like a competition style role bi-weekly.
Not to mention, like, I think that with the women's like community in our gym, I know you want me to lean closer. It's not the mic, it's just me leaning back. With our community that we have, like, I know that I'm a white belt and I know that white belts are spazzy. I also know that I'm a pretty strong person, and I've been told by one of our professors specifically, like, stop using your strength. And that all kind of gets in my head. And I don't want to accidentally be doing things to piss off the very few potential training partners that we have in our gym.
Yeah.
So that's definitely been something. I mean, it's just an insecurity, but something that I've been thinking about. So if you're able to go to open mats with other women at other gyms, or, just find other groups of women in the community or competitions, I think that that's probably the best way to like really be able to go all out. Women are weird. There's like weird, I don't want to like start some rivalry with someone in our gym. I'd rather do that with someone who's at a rival gym, you know? I want to be able to, like, as one of our coaches says, like, get in the lab, play, experiment with the women at our gym.
Build trust with the women.
Yeah, and have fun. Every once in a while, I'll be like, you want a hard roll? Let's go.
Yeah.
But you got to, like, build up to that, I think. So.
One of the things, like, to kind of segue a little bit, one of the, once I kind of had a reframing conversation with myself, I started thinking about my energy in class, and specifically rolling. Hold on, we gotta pause this dog. And we're back. So the dog started whining in the background. I had to start, or I didn't have to, but I guess I just started thinking about my energy in class while rolling. And because I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have an idea of what I was doing, I would just like accept a bottom position, or I would accept like a less favorable position, like I don't know what the word is, but just like a submissive position. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then figure out how to work my way out of it. And this week I was like, oh, I want to put myself in a more offensive position and try to be a little more dominant. And I was talking to one of the professors about it today. And it was funny because he was like, well, yeah, that's the point of this. That's the point of this, because he was teaching. I was asking him about passing somebody's guard. And part of it was like really putting your weight onto somebody and like laying and kind of squishing them in a way, so that you can move through their guard. And I was like, yeah, I'm like having a hard time like kind of getting through or getting over the polite. Like, I don't want to be impolite. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to like make somebody uncomfortable. And he's like, fuck that. In the most kind, gentle way. He's like, fuck that. Like,
that's why we're here.
They're
doing it to you.
Yeah.
Same.
Like, I'm like, gonna do it
am
to
I
you.
allowed to choke somebody today?
Yeah.
I'll get into like, I'll take someone's back and like, I think now I kind of know what I'm doing generally to try to like do some sort of choke.
Yeah.
And I'll get there and be like, okay, and then I'll move out of the position I won't try to finish it. I'll just be like, and that's where I go for the choke someday. And then I'll just like move and get in a less offensive position.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I think about all like the roles I've had, like, yeah, I've had people literally put their knee on like my belly or chest and just like rough me up. And it's like, it's okay. Like, we're all here to learn.
You still like those people, right?
I still like those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are the ones I like the most.
Yeah. The bruises I come home with, I'm like, oh, my friend gave me that.
And then, so he was like, well, yeah, you got to like, you know, seek out the new white belts. And then that's
You rough them up.
you rough them up. And it's almost like, duh. Because I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, I'm not going to be able to, because another part of the conversation was like, if you roll with upper belts, which is a great thing to do, you should roll with upper belts as much as possible.
Yeah.
But they're just better at it than you. So the frequency of you getting into a offensive dominant position is very low.
Yeah.
And it's going to be few and far between when you actually get into that position for you to like quote unquote work on it. So you could ask them to start from a, you know, can we start our roll with me in mount or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was funny because it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm probably not going to get into those positions with blue.
Yeah, I mean,
purple,
the only other
brown
option
belt.
is to like, aside from what he suggested, because it's like, that's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, duh.
Yeah.
That's like the only real path forward.
Oh.
The only other option is to waste years and years and years of like fighting from the submissive position, getting so good at that sometimes you find yourself in a more dominant position, then slowly learning how to control in a dominant position.
Yeah.
And then in 6 years, you start to learn how to submit somebody.
Yeah. It's like
Like, that's just not going to be fun. People won't stick with it. So yeah, that's why the belts exist. That's why the stripes exist. It's like for people to kind of gauge, like, how do I play the game with this person versus this person? I've been trying to think about it a little bit like that, of like, it is a hierarchy, but not for the reasons that you initially think, right? It's like, it's a hierarchy to keep people safe. It's a hierarchy to make sure that people have like a varied and smart training experience.
Yeah.
Because you just, you know, you train differently with different colors.
Yeah. It was funny. I was like giving myself shit in my head. Like, oh yeah, you're just going to be more dominant now, huh? Get into practice your offense, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's kind of hilarious, right?
yeah. Are you sure you were just choosing to be in a submissive state, or were you just getting thrown there?
Okay. One of the tips that I got on Friday, which I think that you will find helpful just with what you're saying, is it's not so much as like, there's a step in between. There's survive in a defensive position. And I don't think that you don't go from surviving in a defensive position to flipping the switch and submitting someone.
Yeah.
You get into a more dominant position and you control a person. And that's where I'm like, okay, that's incredibly helpful advice for me right now. It's like, especially for a similarly weighted strength person, I think that I'm surviving decently. And now I need to start working on, okay, how do I control them in side control? How to control them in mount? How do I get them to stay there long enough for my dial tone to go away and to think about what might I possibly have in my Rolodex to be able to attempt.
Yeah.
Because the muscle memory isn't there yet to go fast enough. I can't just like be like, okay, mount and Americana.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
Arm
like
bar.
mount, hold them. Okay, what can I do here? And can I keep them here long enough to go for whatever idea comes into my head? So try it out.
Yeah. Try it out, man. see. We're 10 minutes away.
Well, what are you thinking about the week ahead?
Thinking about getting rid of this dog because he keeps jumping over our gate while we're trying to record.
We have baby gates in the house because we got little one, and our dog is a big old horse dog, and he's only 6 months old, and it's like he's trying to do like what is it called?
Like
when
the
horse
agility
jumping
show.
Yeah. He's like showing off his jumping skills right now.
I don't remember what our goals were from last week's. Oh my God.
We're gonna
This
say this
dog.
soon. Okay, my goals for the next week are find more opportunities to roll with other women and to not be shy asking, to do 5 classes as long as I can beat the rest of this cold, and to control in more dominant positions, even if the people are bigger than me and stronger than me.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of our morning training partners, and I was like, I want to be more annoying. It sounds kind of silly to say that, but it's like that is kind of the gist of like where I want my next 3 months to go. It's like I want to be more annoying because I'm not going to overpower most of the people who I encounter in class on a daily basis, but I want to be annoying. Like, I want you to not be able to get the arm bar, and I want to take your back and like threaten to choke you and to like force you to move around more than you used to have to, and for your signature sweep to stop working because I know what's coming. Like I think I can manage being more annoying.
Yeah, I want to go to a no-gi class.
Okay, yeah.
I want to give that a shot.
That'll open up more class times for us, which is great.
And then right now I'm focused on takedowns and guard passing. I think those are 2 things I want to focus on.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty easy too, because I mean, you could either just ask, hey, will you start an open guard for this round, or you start from standing, and there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go because this dog is killing me right now.
Okay.
Thanks, honey.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.